something with you. You're going to find is insane. I only discovered last year that my husband's ex and a Secret Service agent named Alex Sissiko and her offspring were plotting to destroy me and my husband the first year I met my husband, before we even got married. That had been something she had made as soon as she divorced him and left the state 16 months before. Well, I had no awareness because they were so secretive, because he was Jenna Bush's bodyguard. He had his own security company. Well, then after I received an invite to a conference, and this dark night started following me my first month in cyber world, and I started communicating with John Saul and people at the Stephen King publishing site, because I wanted to be a writer. I didn't go anywhere at publishing sites. For the first year, I didn't know how to use Cyberworld. I just in the grocery store saw a book, and it was on a special stand that they made, a cardboard stand in the middle of the book aisle, and you couldn't help but see it. It was launching John Saw's new serial books, Blackstone Chronicles. Well, I took the bait. I got the book. I guess it was right there where you couldn't miss it in the supermarket. In the back of the book, it said, "Come to the site to converse with other readers and converse with a horror writer," his publishing site. And I did, and I went there and I wrote stories, and it was the only place I visited for over a year. And this dark night started following me and talking to me the first month. I had no awareness that because the Secret Service agent lived on our street, he had people in high places, or that we would even have hidden cameras in our house, or be filmed nude and recorded, or monitored, or put on some. It's crazy. They just started using their connections and friends to break in, and I had no awareness that this was a club. And so before I ever met my husband, I had loved to have a private life as a writer, and I could socialize and go out and be just a total socialite. I'm a Leo. I was born on that day of psychological leverage. In the book of birth dates, I was born on the day of psychological leverage. And I like balanced things. I'm good at psychology, and I can go out and socialize, not very often. I've never been drunk. I don't drink. I've never been high. I don't do drugs. But I can go out and I can socialize with anybody. And I've always been told when I was young, surprisingly, that when people got around me, even the preacher said this. He said, "You got to smile, it's going to win a lot of hearts." But I had the nuns and people at the convent used to tell me, "You don't know how you brighten these sisters' lives. You always wear these colorful dresses, and they say the old sisters love your company. You just shine. You've got this smile." And then the sisters would tell me how when I was at the convent, I really, really helped and made all the other nuns happy. So I was told this at age 18. But then I was told by just going out with like a person one or two times, because I didn't really have a steady boyfriend for a few years. I was always told that I was able to make these people feel something that wasn't reality. They said I would take them into another world. And they'd always say, "We love the world that we're in when we're with you. You take us away from our despair." And then when I started going out with someone who had an advertising agency, he'd say, "You have a fertile mind. I love to talk to you. I love your mind." And then I'd have people tell me they love my mind more than anything else. That was usually people that own like businesses. But then I'd have most people telling me that when they were around me, they felt nothing but peace. And I never believed them. I just never believed it. They'd say I took them from despair to make their pain go away. Well, then I realized when I was chosen by these Disney people, Warner Brothers, these film people, this horror writer group that I guess is Illuminati. They wanted to kill me because they said I had a white aura and I was an angel. I still didn't believe them. I thought they were crazy. So then when I was trying to put some Avon at Peddler Smart booth, they went and stole my merchandise. They left a snow globe with a rose, a Disney snow globe. They left the movie Dark Knight. They left the Stargate movie at Dad's house. They tried to make me a sacrifice. They left a wicker basket because they tried to burn my dad up, tried to get him to start a house fire the day before. All these people in this town, and then they're leaving relics in my property. They say they're the witches that can't be burnt from Salem. And that's probably after the first conference Jack Canfield came up, went to put his hand on mine to feel my energy. And then they sent me a video of someone that kind of resembled him in this tomb, and this woman is stuck in this energy, and all these demons are all around her. And then when they lower the energy field, they think that they've damned her. They take her to hell, and the guy who's doing it gets some sort of power. Who knows if it's him or somebody else in Illuminati. This guy named Lord Ethan Dominion on MySpace sent me an invite. Shortly after that, they posted the video, Luke Skywalker defeating Darth Vader and saying, you won, game over, you'll die. And they tried to kill me the next night. And the same way they tried to kill Carrie Stainer's little brother, sandwiched me between two cars because they wanted some dialogue. I had on my Apple Mac Mini, I'd been talking to people, not knowing who they were, instant message. And the conversations turned up in Dark Knight. I called the police, the White Knights. I even picked out some of the Lucius. I picked out story characters for a different story, but they turned up in Dark Knight. And I wasn't writing a movie like Batman or nothing. I was just conversing and writing other stories, and they were taking pieces of other stories. So they tried to kill me to destroy that. So they jammed up my Mac Mini to the people. Apple said, there's no way we could get in. They did your file vault, and they broke in the same night, put my black cat in a cage, bashed her in the head. She almost died for a month. She couldn't walk. Scotty McGahey had the hard drive to prove they did it. Then he turned up dead. He had it. I told him when I was leaving the country and going to Europe to the Vatican, I was trying to go to holy sites. I really needed prayer, and I'd hired Mark Alcock to clone everything, a forensic detective. He used to do work for the FBI and the CIA. He said he found stuff on there and make them shake. He said they thought they destroyed evidence with viruses and stuff. They didn't. He said it was hard to piece one of the hard drive back together, but he did piece it together, and it had story characters, a doctor I'd met with, my homework assignments for UCLA to polish my script to perfection about cloning, and they turned it into godsend. Well, somehow George Clooney ended up producing it with Soderbergh. And even I picked out Robert De Niro to play the lead. He used that, and strangely enough, John Saw and he both used parts of that story because John Saw put characters that weren't used in the movie in a book called Black Creek Crossing, based on my land, and then we were on the kill list. Then they put my dad also put my parents in a book, and then they were murdered, Black Creek Crossing. This is how bold these people are. I never want anything to do with them. I never want anything to do with fame. I just want to see if I had talent. If I did, I wanted to publish a book. That was 25 years ago. These people stuck together. And here I am today fighting for my life. But everything I create for 25 years, they will use Bob's ex, Tava Briss, her mom, Alex Sisico, to quickly, through hackers, seize it. Every website I've built, every story I've written, evil.